All right, Marilyn Manson. Just because I've been thinking about it, I posted that video of the 4th of July the other day with his internet or irresponsible hate anthem. To show what I think of the government. It's not a Trump thing or whatever. I mean, but just in general. But so I was like, man, uh, I think that would be like a interesting. Now that I'm through Negredo and entering Albedo, according to like alchemy. Sorry, I was smoking weed, but um, yeah. So now I can like have the capacity to like think a little bit more and reflect on stuff that I normally would just be like inside my head. So anyway, Manson. Uh, I was thinking about him with like alchemy and stuff, uh, and about who he is and who he became and where he came from, and I don't know like a whole lot about it, but I think I know enough to say something from a perspective of me only, because everybody sees things differently. So, uh, I think he probably made a deal with the devil. Um, he he started like he definitely never got past albedo. Um, he probably saw it a little bit, but like a yin yang of him, I picture of like both sides are black with a small circle of white in both. Um, so he made a devil. I think the devil's probably Trent Reznor to him. He knew he was gonna be huge, and successful and all that stuff. Um, and working with Trent and all that stuff, all that came true. But there's like, he his philosophy is to make people think, but that's I want to say it's probably closer to Brian Warner's philosophy than Marilyn Manson. Maybe I don't know. I don't want. I don't know. I got time. But anyway, he knew he was gonna have a downfall, and the reason I know he didn't get past albedo is because he couldn't handle the downfall. I don't know him like his personal life and stuff, but just looking at stuff, and he's more of a personification of a shadow. You know, he ain't really get anywhere alchemy wise, but um, he basically became. So what he wanted was like fortune and fame and power. Um, at first to express the hypocrisy of shit, and then he em- ended up embodying Marilyn Manson. Because there's like, I know he knows, because has tattoos on his hand, Salve, whatever, it coagula, dissolve, and rebuild. So I know he understands this subject, and he's extremely smart. Uh, I wonder what his thoughts would be, but I think Trent Reznor probably stopped his journey to Rubedo, and all he ever saw was maybe a little bit of Albedo, but mostly just Negredo. Which is like, what he visually is, the shadow. So, yeah, that's a problem with pride. You make the deal with the devil, but he said in an interview that there's one more thing about Trent Reznor. So I think he was his devil because I saw a couple things on their relationship and stuff, and I was a Nine Inch Nails fan before I even knew about Manson. But yeah, he basically traded. He knew the fame and the fortune would end, but he was committed to exposing the hypocrisy so much that he ended up making the deal anyway. So there's probably a lot of trauma between on both sides of Trent and Manson, even though they made the best records because they're real records. To me, but I suspect the new stuff that Manson has, I don't even really listen to it that much. I would like to, but I suspect his newer stuff, like since maybe Hollywood or Golden Age of the Grotesque, is more like Negredo music, because he was probably in a hole. But yeah, so Trent Reznor was the devil, but the thing that Manson didn't understand is there's a yin and a yang to shadows also. The white part. He did what he set out to do, which would be like a positive on his side, but it destroyed him. Which is the ironic thing of the whole thing. He ended up making a deal with the devil, and he made a comment in one interview where they were like, oh, speaking of comments, I'm getting off the subject, but before I forget about the Trent Reznor one, somebody asked him in an interview, like, hey, what was it like working with Trent Reznor? And I saw a pause and fear in Marilyn's eyes before he deflected and said, "Why don't you ask him what it's like working with us?" So there's that. What was the other thing? I forget. So what else was on there? Or what other thoughts? I don't know. I guess I'll be back.